Hello everyone and welcome to Behind the Scenes. I'm Suzanne Gandy from HR. Now you're probably wondering, where's Charles? Well, we've been told he sounds a bit like a cyborg. So today, because it's human resources, a human is introducing the session.
Today we have Suzanne with us. Suzanne's our HR director. And Suzanne, I'd like to thank you for coming today, and it's such a pleasure to have you. And for a change, for me to question you, which is quite exciting for me. We've been through a merger. How did the HR team achieve this feat? And such a smooth transition, I must say.
Any merger is a technical challenge for an HR practitioner that we all want to have at some point in our careers, and I'm lucky now that I'm on my third merger. Yes, and I'd learned a lot from the previous mergers I'd been part of, so I could apply that in this situation. But I would say one of the key challenges that we overcome as an HR team was actually bringing the HR team together, because they hadn't really interacted before. So I spent a bit of time doing some team building with them, brought them all together, we found out a little bit more about each other, and pretty much by the end of the day we'd created the nickname of One HR. And from then on, of course, for any HR person, we wear two hats. We're that of the HR person and we're that of an employee. So that in itself can be a challenge for an HR department, but working through things one thing at a time, as a team, everyone's learnt a lot. We've also exercised a lot of emotional intelligence along the way, and I'm pleased to say that we're now through to calmer waters after the merger.
All right. So just to follow-up question on what I just asked, were there any challenges that you faced in terms of bringing the other teams together?
Well, yes. I mean, any merger is full of challenges. So I would say there's three key challenges. Okay. The first one is you've got two different organizations with two different cultures that have built up over time. And suddenly you bring these two cultures together. And of course, the culture is the way we do things around here. It's our standards, our values, the way we make our decisions. So we had to spend quite a bit of time on working out, where does the cultures fit together? How can we fit them together? How can we bring the people together in order to put a culture forward and plan forward as one? So that was the second challenge. The second challenge was getting everybody into one place. That's working with multiple stakeholders to ensure we could take on new office space, bring people together. And of course, we didn't want the sort of situation where you'd come in through the door and go left for one company and right for the other brand. Actually, we wanted it all to be one. So we mixed all the teams together, and it almost forced people to get to know each other. So that was the second sort of challenge. And then the third challenge is the technical HR challenge, contracts and benefits and all those sides of things. But in light of the two previous challenges, that one was the easiest.
With the given experience that you already have. Wow, that is amazing, I must say, given the number of teams that we have and the number of people that we have. So just going away from the team and getting into the overall picture of what 2020 has placed on us. I mean, I think 2020 is going to be remembered at least for the next 100 years. How did the HR team specifically tackle that beast? Well, I think when you're put into any challenging situation where no one really knows how long it's going to go on for, how people will respond to such pressure and anxiety, that it's people first approach. So the HR team were calling all our employees to check in on them, look after their welfare, make sure everyone was okay, but also bringing people together in the virtual forums. So very frequent Zoom meetings or video call meetings to keep that human interaction going. Now appeared to us that may previously not have been so easy to get hold of. So in that respect, 2020 has proven very positive for us, especially with our growth plans at the moment and into the future. Susan, just keeping in conversation with the recruitment plans that we were talking about and with the talent that is available in the market, what does it take to be part of this homegrown unicorn in the UAE?
Well, the status of being a homegrown unicorn does not come easily, and it's not retained easily either. So to be part of the organisation, a strong commitment to hard work, coupled with being innovative, having a broad mindset, but speed to action is key.
I'm going to just push you a bit over there. Are there any more tips that you can give for these candidates?
Oh, I've got many. So of course the obvious tip is an excellent CV, but a lot of people make the mistake just putting their responsibilities onto the CV and not their achievements, but that's what really makes somebody stand out from the rest. And then being patient with our process, because we have quite a strict process of application through screening, then sometimes we'll ask people to do video CVs for us, some pre-recorded interview questions. We also do assessments, we do psychometric testing, and we do competency-based interviewing.
All right.
So I would say any advice would be that stick with the process, and we have a process like this because we want to make sure that the person who ends up walking through the door is the right talent for now and into the future.
How many applications do you guys get, over a period of a day or a month for that matter?
Well, let me give you insight into what we deal with on a monthly basis.
All right.
So if we take last month, for example, we had over 6,000 applications.
Wow.
And that's a lot of CVs to go through. And then coupled with that, we also have to screen and arrange interviews with, I think in the last month we had almost 70 different stakeholders in that interview process. Then we have to make sure that we interact with each person, and we would on average send about 1,300, 1,400 individual emails to applicants through the process to make sure they're fully aware of everything that's going on and we're pushing the process through. And then I would say we probably hired about 39 people in the last month as a result, so from 6,000 applicants to almost 40 new joiners. So the TA team, the talent acquisition team, are a very busy team.
Clearly, going through each and those steps and the amount of hours that needs to be put in, the amount of effort that needs to be put in, that's absolutely humongous. If I can quickly ask this as well, how are you personally involved in, all of these processes?
Everything and everywhere I'm involved. So I have direct responsibility, obviously, for the UAE and every part of HR, as you can think. Everything from the employee life cycle of the planning, the budgeting, through to the recruitment, the onboarding, the career development, salaries, payments, all those things. In addition, I also have responsibility for Lebanon, Egypt, and some of our offices in Pakistan.
Wow. That's multicultural, multi-country. That's absolutely mind-boggling to even think about, actually. But just going about that, so you've got different time zones to deal with as well.
Yes, we do.
Wow.
And different days of the week as well.
Wow. It's absolutely amazing that even the HR team in a tech company is a tech team altogether. That's how we leverage the power of tech, if I might add. We know that you're a multi-talented person, you've worn different hats, you still wear different hats. But is there something that we're missing? Is there more to you?
What could you ever mean, Charles?
I don't want to explicitly state that, but you know where I'm going, so.
My slightly odd career background?
Yeah,
okay,
that's
all right then. Well, then let me explain what we're talking about. I never intended, when I was at university studying psychology, to embark on a lifelong career in HR. In fact, I chose a slightly unconventional route of joining the military, and was accepted to the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, something very much loved by the UAE leadership and the military elite.
Wow.
And after obviously all my training, spent a couple of tours, operational tours, where my role was far from HR. In fact, it was the protection and planning and movement of bulk fuel so fuel convoys, basically. Right. And then obviously after doing my time with the military, I decided that it was possibly time for a career change, and I chose HR. I'd had insights into it as a platoon commander, where you are expected to be able to do all the HR for your team. So yeah, then I moved into HR, and of course the learnings from that part of my career to now have been invaluable, because it gives you resilience when the going gets a bit tough, and it also gives you a very strong work ethic and high standards, which I've retained. Yes.
Clearly. And I think given the risk that is involved, you also know that you can't fail, and hence just keep moving forward.
Yeah, and actually keep moving forward is a really good point, because I think it's something that in the military, when you know that you are reliant on your colleague for your life, it's really important to stay positive, keep moving forward, and know things are going to get better, and that really sets you up for life. Really does.
Wow. And looking at how your direction has changed, well, of course, you've taken some of those qualities and applied them on a different scale altogether. Let's say if there's one of our listeners who's looking at going away from the common path that everyone takes, what would be your advice to them?
Very good question. I think if anyone is thinking about having a career move, the easier option, the path of least resistance, is to stay where you are. And I would say, don't take that path, take the harder option, go about retraining, learning new skills, gathering new knowledge, increasing your confidence, and just go out there and give it your best shot. It's something that if you don't do it, before you know it, it is going to be too late to make any changes. So seize the day would be my advice.
Just do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've also started some really cool initiatives on the fitness side of Bayut and dubizzle. Is that how you tune down your day as well? Is that how you relax? And can you give us some more insights on what is it that's happening?
Yeah, sure. Well, Workout Wednesdays, which I'm sure we'll see you at soon, Charles, is something that we've been running each week to encourage our employees to come out, get some fresh air in the evenings, and get to know each other a bit better, as well as investing in doing something good for themselves, doing some exercise, come for a run, do some yoga, play some volleyball, play a bit of basketball, or just get the table tennis bats out and have a chat whilst playing some table tennis. But for me personally, to wind down and relax, I have a routine of getting up very early, before dawn, and I take my dogs for a walk every morning, my little rescue dogs. Well, they're not so little. And I take them out, and there is something very special about that time of the day when the sun is breaking. Each day is a new day, and it kind of reminds you of that. And it's a fantastic way to relax and get your mindset right for the day ahead of you. Yeah.
And if I can just quickly ask, what time of the day is that?
I tend to get up around 5.
5 a.m.
Yeah, and usually it's not because I want to get up at 5, it's because my family all seem to wake up really early. So I don't really have a choice in the getting up time, but the rest I do have a choice in.
So we've got quite a charismatic social presence.
Yes.
And we've received some questions, especially from our TikTok audiences. How do they be part of the Bayut and dubizzle team that we've built?
Well, I think the social media that we have is absolutely brilliant, because it's a wonderful window for people who aren't part of our organisation to really get a taste of what our culture is like. I like the fact that you mentioned TikTok, because it's something that I personally do quite like TikTok, although I'm certainly not ready to be a TikTok star. But I would say that if someone really wants to differentiate themselves, and of course you can take the traditional means, you can apply through our website, both on Bayut and dubizzle platforms. But if you want to stand out from the crowd and you see a TikTok video that you like, well, why not make a video and respond to our TikTok video? We'd love to see that. We'd love to see you in action.
All right, Suzanne. It's been great having you on the show, giving so much insights to our HR department and the nitty-gritty in terms of what goes on. I'm still a bit taken aback with the procedures and the number of recruitments that we've done, the traction that we've gained in the market and so on and so forth. Sorry, I'll just keep rambling if I talk about this, but thank you again for taking the time out in your busy schedule.
Thanks. Thank you, Charles.
Well, my intro was taken away by the HR, and apparently I sound like a cyborg. Leave your comments below. We'll probably take a poll and see if that's the case. But facts are facts. I'm still here. We're still going to bring you more exciting people from behind the scenes at Bayut and Dubizzle. See you soon.